Hi Sagittarius, welcome to How Love Tarot. This is your January 2022 weekly reading. I have pulled your tarot and your oracle, and I'm going to be looking at several different areas of the week for you. I'm going to be looking at the present position. I'm going to be looking at the strength. I'm going to be looking at the challenge, and I'm going to be looking at three different layers of the outcome. So we have the first layer here, the second layer in the kipper, and then right over here we have the tarot oracle or tarot wisdom card to look at the outcome. As I was pulling your energy, Sagittarius, there is two main themes that are coming out in this reading. So the first theme has to do with a decision, and the second theme has to do with so the decision about a situation, person, relationship, that is coming out the strongest in this reading. And the second one, I'll see how it plays out, but it seems as if there was a repetitive cards in your reading. And so the other area has to do with, again, a decision, but not, it feels like you've got two decisions to make. One is kind of like this life-changing decision, and one is just kind of like a normal weekly decision that you have to make that maybe present itself as a bit of a challenge, but not much of a challenge, but just something that you have to deal with. In your present energy, this is meant to validate the reading. And so if this part of the reading does not make sense to you, one of two things may be happening. This is a weekly reading, but because I am a psychic and a medium, it may be that the reading hasn't played itself out yet, meaning that time needs to happen and the week needs to pass in order for these things to make sense to you. So you may want to put the reading in a playlist, come back to it after January, and then take a look at it, and then it may make sense to you. If the present position still doesn't make sense to you at that point, then this may not be your reading. Over here in the present position, I have the Wheel of Fortune for you. I have the Hermit in the upright position for you. I have the Ace of Coins in the reverse position for you. I have the Seven of Swords in the upright position for you, and the Justice card in the upright position for you. Justice is one of the cards that came out twice and is very prominent even as an energy, even if it came out once in your reading. It's a very strong energy that's coming forward here. Spirit, can you bring forward the present energy for Sagittarius and let me know what is going on in their present energy? What is it that will validate their reading? What will help them? What will help clarify the information that they need in this reading? Sagittarius, you're making a big decision in regards to your future. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here, and Spirit makes me feel here that where you were kind of Spirit is bringing back another reading. I'm not sure when it was. I'm not sure if it was the last reading or a couple of readings ago. But they're making me feel here that in a past reading, the Hermit was in the reverse position, which signifies the fact that you're opening up. You're opening up your communication. You're opening up how you feel about something. And you may not be, like maybe verbalizing how you feel, but you're definitely opening yourself up to the situation. Now, in this Hermit card right here in the upright position, what it shows is that you're withdrawing again. Now, I don't know if you're withdrawing communication or isolating. It doesn't feel like that. What it feels like is because I guess you're in a place in this experience or situation or with a person that you're making a decision about how you want to move forward, and you're looking, you're evaluating the situation, and you're really analyzing what, you're using a lot of logic to understand how you should move forward. Now here we have the Ace of coins in the reverse position. And so you're holding back your emotions. There is a wealth of emotions to do with this situation. So this makes me feel like it has to do with a person rather than a situation, you know, meaning like a career choice. It could be a career choice. But when we have the Ace of Pentacles come out like this, and we have the Hermit and the way the energy is coming out, it signifies more of a person, more of heart energy rather than logical kind of career decisions or anything like that. Now, if it does mean a career situation or even an investment situation, perhaps that is more relevant to you and love is stable. So take that information as it resonates. But it really feels here that it is a person, and I have to go with one storyline that Spirit is giving me. And so here it feels like a person. It feels like in the past, and this is what you're doing, is you're kind of here in the Justice card, you know, past behavior equals future behavior. And again, you're using a lot of logic to make a decision. You're looking at past behavior, and you know, it's with this filter of things do not change. And maybe your life experience has shown you that. Maybe your life experience has shown you once a thief, always a thief, right? Because this feels like somebody that stole something from you, or a situation that was unjust, or a situation where there was some type of betrayal, or a situation you didn't see coming. But it feels as if you're very wary about those types of situations, and it feels like you've had a lot of experience with that. And so it feels as if that's the filter that you're making this decision from. But if I may be so bold, Sagittarius, it feels like that is the incorrect filter. So Spirit is giving me an example here of kind of this saying that they keep telling me, once a thief, always a thief. And you know, I guess if you have that filter and you think that way, then you're never going to believe that people can change. You're never going to believe that a situation can be different. You're never going to believe that an outcome can be different. You're never going to open your mind to the fact that there's a possibility of a different outcome, and that 1 and 1 don't equal 2 in the way that you're doing that equation. And it shows here that that people can be misconstrued. A situation can be extremely distorted. And I have to tell you a story, Sagittarius, and bear with me because it's coming through very strongly. And for some reason, Spirit wants me to give the metaphor. But I used to be a juvenile probation officer. And one of the things that came across is, you know, people, juveniles that had repeat offenses. I had this young man come across my caseload one day, and if you looked at his history, especially his school history, it showed nothing but the fact that he was disruptive and a thief and all of this kind of stuff. Anyway, push came to shove, and he has to come in front of me. I have to prep him before we go in front of the judge. And I don't get a chance to. He goes in front of the judge. I end up seeing him after the judge has already passed his sentence. And we're doing his paperwork, and he looked very different than all the other juveniles that I had to deal with. And so I got quite curious about him, and I started to ask him questions. And it was his 12th birthday that day. I will never forget this. It was his 12th birthday. And I said, you know, you have a misdemeanor here, and you're going to be on probation for this amount of time. This is what the judge has said, and this is what you have to do. And I'm like, you know, you've got a pretty thick file here in regards to your school record of, you know, kind of acting out and all of this. Anyway, this woman was sitting beside him, and she started telling him off. Now, she didn't look old enough to be his mother. Turned out it wasn't his mother, but it was his guardian. And he was the sweetest kid. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. He was very gentle in his tone and his voice. He was not aggressive in any way, and he just really stood out. And I said to him, you know, why are you doing these things? And he said, you know, the security officer doesn't like me. And I went back through his reports and his school record, and it showed that the same security officer had made all the reports against him. And I said, in this particular offense, what were you doing? And he said, I stole milk. And I said, why'd you steal milk? Now, I know why he stole milk. He was hungry, right? You don't steal milk when you can steal a can of Coke, right? If you're not hungry, right? So I already knew the answer, and he said, I was hungry. The woman next to him turned around and said, he was really bad the night before, and I sent him to his room without dinner. And so he went to school hungry. And I said, do you always do that? And she said, yes, he needs to learn not to be rude to me. Come to find out, this was his older sister. Long story short, both him and his sister had seen their mother shot dead when he was aged 4 years old. And it was by a daycare worker. And ever since, the sister had been old enough to take guardianship of him. And he'd been acting out ever since. And this is what Spirit shows me in this story, that it may walk like a duck, look like a duck, quack like a duck, but it isn't a duck. You have to dive deeper. Whatever this situation is, whoever you've been dealing with, you know, my other caseload, all those other kids, when I delve deeper, I would say about only 20% of them were really true hardened criminals and going in that direction. The rest of them, there were all stories similar, not as tragic as this, but very, very disruptive lives that they led. And so it's easy to take a look at these juveniles and say, you know what, you're going to turn out and be a criminal. And this is what I feel is happening with you. I feel like what's happening is you've got a mindset of once a criminal, always a criminal. Once a thief, always a thief. You're not going deep enough into the situation, Sagittarius, to understand how to have a change of perspective about what you're looking at. And so you're making a decision based upon the past history that you've experienced and based upon the way that you look at things. Now, it's not to say that, you know, this child did commit a crime, right? They stole something. And you can either be very black and white in your thinking, and you can say, well, that makes you a thief, and that means you have to do time, and that means X, Y, and Z. Or you can turn around and say, well, you know what, you did something wrong. There are consequences to that. You're going to have to pay those consequences, but this doesn't need to be your path for the rest of your life. It all depends how you want to look at things. And here in the present position, what it's showing here, Sagittarius, is that you're looking at things through the same filter. And what it's stopping you from doing, Spirit, thank you. They want me to now turn this up in the upright position. Sagittarius, this has to do with somebody that you love. Spirit is bringing forward a situation now in regards to a person. So those of you that were kind of meandering between a situation and a person, just for your kind of clarity in the reading, I now have to go with the storyline of a person 100%, because the love energy is coming through very, very, very strongly. And so Spirit is making me feel here that it's one of the things that has stopped you from moving forward successfully in your heart space. It's something that you've experienced. It's a real experience, and it is valid. However, it is marred the decisions that you have made in regards to your heart. And now presents itself with, now there is a new situation here that you are thinking about. And for some of you, yes, there is some past history here, but for others of you, there isn't. For others of you, there hasn't been betrayal. There hasn't been, I guess in this shows thief, right? So stealing your heart and destroying it, meaning that you cheat, the person cheated on you, right? That's the biggest betrayal, one of the biggest betrayals you can have in a relationship. And the other ones are just plain old, there's other things obviously, but this one shows cheating. And so what you're doing is difficult, because here we have the Wheel of Fortune that's coming through really, really strongly, and it shows that you want to be fully like how you used to be. There's a lot of wisdom here in your energy. So it shows that you want to be the way you used to be, without this filter of what others think, you know, and past experiences. And it feels like you want to come forward in a fresh and new way. However, this history just weighs upon your shoulders. And so what it shows here is that, God, the love energy is really coming forward, Sagittarius. You can fall in love with this person if you're not already in love with them. It shows here that you want a loving relationship with them. It shows here that you're afraid. It shows here that you are trying to prevent your heart from being broken. It shows here that you don't want to be in the same situation again. And it shows here that you feel as if you can really analyze the situation and you can look for all the red flags, that somehow you can prevent someone from breaking your heart again. We have free will, Sagittarius, and you can't make future decisions based upon past decisions when it comes to your heart. You have to take somebody the way that they are, and you have to open up your heart fully. And if you want to keep doing that to somebody, saying, well, when this happened in the past to me before, that meant that somebody was going to cheat on me and they were going to break my heart and blah, 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 blah. If you keep doing that to a person, that's what you're going to keep drawing into yourself, which is somebody that looks at you through their past. And you don't want to be judged in that way. You don't want to be painted with the same brush where somebody has been cheated on, and then now they're looking at you and they say, well, when you do X, Y, and Z behaviors, that means you're going to cheat on me, right? And you're saying to them, why are you saying that to me? Because I'm not your ex, right? I'm not this person. So why are you doing that to me? But you're doing that to them. And at least that's what you're doing right now in the present energy. Spirit is saying, come out of that and understand that you have the Ace of Coins here, which means a free-flowing energy and harmony and lots of abundance and lots of fresh, a whole new beginning, and something that has been dormant for some time will be fresh again and renewed again. And it's all, you know, Spirit here is asking for things to come out in a fresh new way, and to let go of the filter that you've been seeing things through, and try and open up your heart through fresh eyes, and understand that a book cannot be judged by its cover. Just like that juvenile I was telling you about, if I had judged that juvenile with the rest of my caseload, then I would have missed something crucial about that child that helped me to get that child through that experience, that very difficult experience that him and his sister were going through. In your strength, so many cards came out for you, Sagittarius. We have the King of Swords, the Palace of Cups, and the Lovers. We have I can't even fit all the cards here that came out for you. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords in the reverse position, and we have the Empress in the upright position. Spirit, do you want to bring forward the strength position for Sagittarius? Sagittarius, at some point in the week, Spirit makes me feel here that you're going to come out of this energy where you're looking at things from a past filter. It's going to take a moment, and it's going to take engagement with who you're thinking about. And how that engagement occurs is up to you, because we have the King of Swords here. It feels here as if you're going to move forward in a very powerful energy where you're going to, you know, it's kind of like there's a realization that occurs in the middle of the week for some reason. And it is letting go of the past, and it is bringing forward a situation. For some of you, this is a past person. that where it never really played itself out. There was never a real, it feels like a relationship that started that didn't get off the ground, or a situation that started that didn't get off the ground. And so in your strength energy, what we have here is you taking a look at your environment and you creating what you want in your environment. And so the thinking pattern changes at some point during the week, where you're looking at things from an old filter and you're coming into a fresh filter, because something about whoever this is comes into your environment and allows you to see things differently. This shift of consciousness occurs during the week, and all your anxiety goes away. 9 of Swords in the reverse position. And here we have the Empress in the reverse position again, and it shows here that even though there is not a new beginning, somehow there is. Spirit, do you want to clarify that? Spirit is saying it's different for all Sagittariuses, but somehow there is a new beginning, but it's not the... Spirit makes me feel it's not the... For those of you needing to take something into the next level with a person, it's not a commitment. I don't feel like a commitment is made, because the Empress is not in the upright position, it's in the reverse position. But something moves this situation further in that makes you feel really secure about the moves that you have made and the actions that you have taken in the situation to try and gain clarity in it. And it shows you feeling extremely strong, extremely confident, and extremely self-assured about the direction that you're moving in. Very, very powerful energy in your strength position, Sagittarius. And it shows that really strongly. It shows that that you want something different in your environment. It shows that you're really looking at your environment, and it shows here that this situation is going to make you happy during the week. There's something that you do. I'm not sure what it is that you do. Like I said, Spirit says that it's different for every Sagittarius. Something that you do during the week changes everything about the dynamic with this person or situation. Take it as you need to, Sagittarius. And the challenge, something completely different here in the challenge position. What it shows here in the challenge position, some of you are dealing with the past situation. Now, for some of you, and again, this is for a minority of Sagittarians out there, as a rule, remember, this is just for entertainment, and this reading is only going to apply to a few of you. It's not going to apply to all of you. But there are a few of you in the challenge position. Here we have child in the Kipper, and we have adjudication. So some of you are dealing with child custody. Some of you are dealing with a situation to do with your child, or something that requires a third party to make a decision. And it does feel like it's going to work out. It does feel like you kind of have to reorient in the situation. In regards to challenge, it's sitting in your challenge position, but it doesn't feel like much of a challenge. It just feels like you've got your ideas, they've got their ideas, and then there are the rules and the guidelines and the boundaries. And it feels like both of you, or whatever this situation is, needs to just be reoriented, and rules need to be followed. Boundaries need to be adhered to. So something occurs during the week where there's some type of discussion or third party coming in. I don't mean third party as in, for those of you that know tarot, I don't mean third party as in a love interest, right? A third party usually means you're with somebody and somebody's cheating. That's not what I mean in third party. I mean third party as in another voice. Another voice comes in for reason here. Could be a supervisor, could be somebody else that is trusted in the situation, that says, hey, you know, we got to look out for the best interest of this situation and everybody involved. And if we're disagreeing, all we need to do is go back to the rules and just follow the rules. And if we do that, everything will sort itself out. So that plays out a little bit in your energy for some of you this week. 3 layers of outcome. So this is where the energy repeats again, and it repeats in the outcome twice. We got the 7 of Cups, and that's what repeats. So we got the 7 of Cups here, and we've got the 7 of Cups in the Oracle coming out. Here we have it in the upright position. In this Oracle, I always read it. Sorry, we have it in the reverse position. Here we have it in the upright position. I'll get to that as I get to it in the reading. And here what we have is the Page of Wands and the Strength. And so this is really cute, Sagittarius. Your heart opens up in the middle of the week. For those of you that could take this reading as a love interest, or like I said, that loving energy, that heart energy really opened up in the reading as I was doing your present position. And what it shows here is that no longer are you in a situation. Spirit wants me to bring this card forward. Sorry. I got to bring this card forward. So they're wanting me to read this out. It says, so this is the 7 of Cups and this is the 7 of Cups, 2 different decks. And it says, make a choice, stop procrastinating or over-analyzing, get clarity on what you desire and move forward. Too many options, addictions. So what it shows here is that you're at some point before you make this decision in the week, there is a lot of, you're looking at yourself, and at some point you become extremely introspective about your own flaws and things that may challenge this situation if you did move forward with it. So you kind of go from looking at the person through a filter, then looking at yourself and somehow being insecure about kind of what is going on in your life. And like, you know, for the whole time you've been looking at them. But now once you kind of accept, well, you know what, I think I want to move forward with this, you then start to turn the reflection inward and look at yourself. And so you do that for a little bit, not too long, but it shows here that that for a moment you're over analyzing the situation. For a moment you're procrastinating because once you go inward, you start to feel a little bit insecure. So I feel like all of that lets go at some point in the week when, I don't know what you do, Sagittarius, but something that you do moves this situation forward, and it gets you out of your head and it gets your person out of their head, and it breaks the ice. And that is very, very clear in this energy with the 7 of Cups coming out in the reverse. And what's so interesting and so sweet about this is that you whatever this is, creates an explosion within you of emotions, feelings, passion, just all, you know, kinds of like, it's kind of like whatever you do, the dam bursts. And what we have here is a lot of inner strength to now pull your passionate energy back, because whereas before there was a lot of physical passion and it was, you know, it was all very under control. And in the outcome, it shows that whatever action that you do in this situation, that again, it feels like an icebreaker that literally turns this whole dynamic around. And you express your emotions, you express how you feel, and you make a choice, and the door is now closed to everybody else, and you want your person. And what ends up happening is this passion that was very kind of, you know, under control and very, very tempered within you starts to gush forward. And it's almost like, it really does feel like the dam bursts within you, and it feels like it takes a lot of strength to pull it back. Sagittarius, I can feel it. That's why I'm laughing. I can feel that you know, because you've been in your head for so long, that when the head moves aside and then it's the heart and the sacral chakra, meaning kind of like that root energy, and everything starts to flow. I can feel the energy within you, and it just feels beautiful. It's a beautiful, loving energy, and you're trying to control it. You're hilarious, Sagittarius. So there's a gushing of energy here, gushing of love, and long overdue. And you know, the thing about it right here is this is the thing about your person. You know, you've always felt this way about your person, and the thing is that it's your mind. It's your mind that keeps, you know, you have a very strong mind, Sagittarius. You are one of these signs that are very logical, very, you can hold a lot back when you're hurt, you know, and you've been hurt, and it shows here that because you've been hurt and because you've had very, very challenging times in your life, that you've learned to be extremely strong. But with this person has a way of just making you feel things, and you've always felt this with this person. They just have a way of just being themselves and making you open up, and you don't want them to know that. This is hilarious. Sagittarius, you're so funny. You think they don't know, Sagittarius? Last layer of your outcome, we've got the wealthy man and the main female. So for those of you that are in, you know, don't worry about masculine and feminine energy. Don't worry about if you're in a same-sex relationship or whatever that is. This is just the kipper. It's not really about whether you're male or female. What it shows here is everything changes between the two of you. Sagittarius, you feel extremely abundant in how you want to move forward. There is a lot of stability in this situation. Your person feels very confident as well. They're very invested in you. You're invested in them. It feels as if this could be something extremely powerful. I don't think I have ever said that in a reading. I hear it in a lot of readings, but it feels like a power couple, or, you know, Spirit just showed me best friend here. So in a situation where where you can take all of this as a best friend, it feels like there is something has happened between the two of you, and there is something that is bringing you back together again, where you're identifying that, you know what, this is my rock, and this is a powerhouse, this is a power couple. So for some of you, this has to do with friendship, and for some of you, it has to do with both friendship and love. But here it shows the power couple. Here it shows in your outcome that you're completely bringing out the best in each other, and this has longevity. This has a lot of fruitful energy. This has the ability to go the distance. This has the ability to be an incredible experience, a once in a lifetime experience. So Sagittarius, I don't know what else to say other than this is going to be quite a defining week for you. And it does feel like this week, I know I said, you know, for those of you that don't resonate with the present energy, come back to it. But Spirit is making me feel here that for the Sagittariuses that can resonate with that present position, Spirit makes me feel here this is going to happen this week. So look out for that to happen. Right here, coming up in the drop down menu, are your yearly readings, your monthly reading for January, and all your weekly readings for January that are all relevant. So please take a look at them. Sagittarius, that is your reading, and I hope it helped. You take care.